the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when.
Welcome back. Today we're talking PeakBot. It's an options trading bot, and if you've been watching the series, I have been testing this. We were down $205 running the Iron Condor on the index funds. And I'll show you how I switched it, but I switched to a trend spread because the market's been a little more volatile. So instead of trying to run a Condor, which is going to be based on the market not being as volatile, which was losing us money, I'm switching to a spread. So I'll go into the PeakBot website and I'll show you how I picked what I picked, and then we'll look at the results. And we're about 5 weeks out, so that kind of gives you an idea. So this is the PeakBot website, and what I did is I moved to the trend spread. And you'll see the Iron Condor QQQ Inspire paused, and I moved to the trend spread. I picked Walmart and Verizon. I do believe this red here means that Verizon has earnings coming up, but we'll check. So I'm going to show you how I picked those first. So what I did is I went to, red columns, estimated earnings date coming up. So I went into the trend spread weekly, and this is a weekly trade, and I picked low risk stocks. The reason I picked low risk is that I wanted to grind out profit. I don't want to take high risk with the money. I want to make sure it works. Once we have some profit, then we can go into low risk. So I looked at these and I scrolled through and said, okay, low risk, what items do I like that are low risk that I can trade? I've been staying away from gold, although, it's bearish, GLD, great. And so I went through and I looked at what was available on the low risk. And at the time, now Walmart's been moved to moderate. And I think Verizon will probably be bumped up because it has earnings coming. So here I scroll down. Verizon is moderate, but it's flagged with earnings. So maybe we don't want to trade that this week. We might turn that off. But so here's where we picked it. I did go with low risk, like I said, and then I just picked two at the time from that list and I added them on here. And actually, we are going to go ahead and pause Verizon. And if you think there's one on this list that we should pick up, put a comment down below and we can pick another. And I'm going to stick with low risk ones. But we can pick another low risk one. I could do the Spider Gold one. I'm not opposed to that. Or some of these others, but that is what I picked was the low risk ones and then ones with current decent returns as well. So the last update I published was about March 12th on this. So it's been about 5 weeks and we were down, if you remember, $205 trading the Iron Condor. So now we're up. We started with 5,000. We're now up $9. So overall, that's given us about a $214 profit. Doesn't seem like much over the last month, but really that's really close to 4% a month, maybe a little bit under 4% a month. And I'm okay with that. As we move forward, I can put more of my money at risk on these. However, I wanted to make sure that that it was working and making profit. And I do think now that I see it's making profit, as it builds, we can start to risk more money and kind of branch out. So what we can see is that we are trading weeklies on Walmart and Verizon. and it does do a lot of trades. I did pick today was a really good day because Friday was a holiday with Good Friday. So it did not open the new trades on Friday or roll them. But what we can see is that we're basically in each of these trades. Walmart was actually ran an iron condor last week. And so what we have to do is we have to go in and find each of those trades individually to see what the breakdown of the profit was. But we sold the put at 88 for 87 cents, and then we bought it back for 18 cents. And then here we sold the put. Nope, we bought the put at $81 and for 32 cents. And then we bought that back. So we sold it back at 1 cent. So but that was overall profitable. And then the calls were 95 and 97. So there's a large, that's kind of a big move on the, like a large wide spread on the puts. The calls were much tighter, just $2.50. So let's look at the trade on the April 17th calls on Walmart. And we sold a call for 71 cents. So that's $75. And then we bought the wing for $22 here. And so we then bought back the call for 4 cents or $4. And we sold the 97.50 back for 86 cents or a dollar minus fees. So negligible. But what that means is that we made our profit on each one of those trades, right? So they worked out. And it does seem that this is working out. I'll be honest, I don't love the way that they break it down because they don't group it together. So you do have to kind of jump around to look at each of the trades. But in the end, this total value is what I'm looking at. So hopefully next month, when I come back and review this sometime in May, we will see that this number has then jumped up to more, maybe 5,250. Maybe we'll make $250 and we'll finally be up. Is it taking a little time? Absolutely. But I do take my time and actually show you the results of what's actually happening, good or bad, and we'll work through it and figure out how to make this make money or we'll move on. So short but sweet, simple review. Peakbot, another month, not great profit, but I'm really okay with 4% a month. And long term, if this keeps working, I will slowly add more stocks into the spread. And if the market changes, I may go back to the Iron Condor. But right now, I feel that overall, the market's very volatile. And an Iron Condor, at least on the 20 Delta, I think they do it on the 25 Delta maybe, isn't the best strategy. Personally, I've been running an Iron Condor on the 10 Delta, on QQQ, on dailies, and it does seem to be working, but there really isn't, it's a lot of risk reward on that. And sometimes I'll just do a credit spread for the put or the call credit spreads, depending on which way the market's moving. If it's moving hard in one direction, I'm going to take that credit spread, say if it's moving down, I'm going to take a call credit spread personally, and then I'm going to make my money and then I'm going to close it out and quick in and out, quick and easy. Overall, Peakbot's back to making me money. That's a good thing. So do me a favor if you like what you see, click the like, click the subscribe. If you see something on Peakbot's chart that you think we should try, leave me a comment down below. Also, if you're interested, I do have a link down below for Peakbot. I don't think I have a link for Tradier, and I am testing out a couple different brokerages now and kind of seeing what I like to see and what works for me. So until next time, let's all make money. Let's all stay safe and be healthy.